though it was far worse than they ever could have imagined.
Oh my
On
god.
Ashdown's cell phone were 7 total videos depicting the attack, with the footage spanning nearly an hour in total, during which Mark had been stabbed 107 times.
Okay, you got a supporter, somebody that's like, you think that's supporting you, and they do you like this, which is crazy as fuck. What's up, welcome back to another reaction video. I'm Mende.
And I'm Ollie.
Today we got
YouTube's darkest channels 7.
You ready? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Because every time we react to this channel,
it's always uncomfortable.
It's always something that like I've never, the craziest shit that I've never heard of. And then after when the video ends, we just have to live with it.
Knowing information that we could have lived without, but
see, look, we got nice guy must die. That sounds insane.
Yeah.
But look, ready? Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You guys I've been seeing you guys request. You guys been requesting a lot of like spooky, scary stuff. They like when we react to scary stuff. But don't worry, we're gonna get to it all. The scary stuff, the gaming, our movie reactions. We are going to start our movie reactions again soon. I think the first movie reaction we're gonna do, like our first one back, is what is that movie called on Netflix that we never seen before?
Netflix?
Yeah, that we never seen before, and we're like, okay, well, let's watch it. Interstellar.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yes,
yeah.
We've never seen that movie, and that movie's like,
surprisingly, because I'm a really trippy person, so
yeah, everybody's like really hypes that movie up and says that's like such a good movie. So we're gonna see. So that's probably gonna be our first reaction movie back, and then look, when I'm about to tell y'all surprising, but we've never seen Dawn of the Dead. But yeah. I've never seen it because I've been scarred from that shit.
I didn't even know it was a movie like that everybody's seen. Sound like a video game or something.
When I was a kid, that beginning scene is the only thing I seen, and that shit really scared me, and I just never watched it. So yeah, that's another new movie we have to watch. So yeah, we gonna do a lot of stuff. We just, like I said, the time, and we're gonna get down to all that stuff. When Ollie goes part-time, then we're really gonna be going crazy. And yo, you got anything to tell the people? Oh yeah, one more thing. If y'all hear the fucking smoke alarm in this video, it's because, bro, look, our ceiling is mad high. I know you just heard that shit. Our ceiling is mad high, so I can't get to that. We don't have a ladder that high, so we're gonna have to call somebody to get to that shit.
Change the batteries.
Yes, bro, because I'm losing my mind. I hate that shit too. Like at first, like when we first started the channel, like the beep shit, like I just dealt with it. But now, like when we got it fixed, now that shit just irks me. But yeah, just know that will be fixed soon. Whenever yeah, I gotta tell my dad, bro. I gotta tell my dad, because nigga, none of us in here can reach that shit. We do not have a ladder that high unless Ollie wants to get the trampoline.
No, I'm not getting on your shoulders.
I didn't say that. I mean that.
That is what you were gonna. Okay, well.
Okay. But look, I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. Let's get into the video.
Tell you what we're gonna do today, more than anything else, we're gonna do this. Nice guy must die. Nice guy must die. Nice guy must die.
Okay.
This is my house from the street. Here is my car. This is a 2-bedroom brick ranch, conveniently located.
It's the final day of February 2008.
I've never experienced snow like that.
47-year-old man living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, named George Sodini, publishes his very first video to YouTube under the channel MOS B46PGH.
I paid $79,000 for this in 1996. That's considered a lot, believe it or not.
No, we know.
Titled How George Pittsburgh Lives was almost like an old-school house tour of sorts, as George proudly displays the outside of his home, before then doing the same inside.
Open it up. Oh, someone left it unlocked. That's not good. Inside, okay. Pan to the other side.
Seemingly making a point of mentioning every minute feature in the otherwise dim and empty home.
Here's my big screen TV. It's my computer, couch and chair, they match. Dining room set, shoebox full of old pictures.
To anyone who may have stumbled upon this strange video or Sodini's channel in general back in 2008, it would likely come off as entirely uninteresting and far from anything disturbing. However, to those who find it today, this couldn't be more different, as the account carries with it a layer of disturbing context due to the events that transpired after this first video was published. Events that have since transformed the MOS B46 PGH page into one of YouTube's darkest channels.
Please meet every woman's
Do
dream.
something so she remembers your name.
Keep your mate with you. Make sure he's someone you can trust. Be careful, is all I can say.
I'm gonna post this and see what comes back.
I'm like, hey, it's supposed to be some crazy shit,
Mentally prepare yourself.
right?
Why does that look familiar?
Everything
Most of you guys have heard about
that
the
looks
TikTok
like that
app.
looks familiar.
And honestly, there's something about it that's been bothering me. You or I could do a simple Google search and in a
Mr.
matter of
Beast.
seconds find countless different data broker websites where you can buy pretty much use Aura. To
Or,
respond.
okay.
They identify
you gotta
these
chase
data
that
brokers
bag.
sell
Yeah,
my
you
info
do.
online
Everybody
and
get
submit opt-out
y'all
requests on my
Aura.
behalf.
Little hallway, 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms. To the right is my bedroom.
Without any context, it's hard to know what the purpose of George Sodini's first video was.
Look at that
If it
computer.
even had one at all. The entire thing just felt so random.
We came
But
a
within
long
the
way.
footage itself was one clue that hints at the fact that George actually had a very specific reason for uploading this, with that clue coming in the form of a book on his coffee table.
Okay, come over here. There's some reading material that we're all familiar with.
It was called How to Date Young Women for Men Over 35, which was about as creepy as it sounded.
Our guest today is a 51-year-old bachelor who says if you're a single woman over 30, you're a dating has-been. Please meet every woman's dream, Don Steele.
They giving him some sorry
I know,
ass
they-
Its
class.
author, Don
Ooh.
Steele, who made a living as a dating counselor and life coach, creating
don't fuck
various
with him.
books and programs that were geared towards socially awkward men, exploiting them with the promise that someday they'll be able to get the younger girl of their dreams, even after they reached middle adulthood.
Is this
and all
real?
that they had to do was pay for his course, pay for the book, and dedicate
You know what? I'm gonna
themselves
say
to becoming
one thing. You know, like, you know, people do whatever they want type shit, but in my opinion, like grown ass man getting like a course from another grown ass man on like stuff like this is kind of crazy to me. Like, for example, I've seen some shit, you've seen it too. Remember that boot camp and it was like how to be a man or some shit?
Yeah.
Bro, that shit is so sad to see. What was it again?
It was like they paid like $10,000 for it.
Yeah, they paid $10,000 for
And then
it.
he's like, I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm
Bro,
a man.
I don't know, bro. I know y'all
You
seen
guys
it.
know what we're talking about.
I hope y'all, well, I guess. But yeah, that shit is sorry, bro.
George Sodini was the perfect target. Despite having a successful career as a systems analyst at a law firm, he struggled to maintain any relationships with the women that he met. It had been well over a decade since he last had a girlfriend, and despite desperately wanting one, George just seemed to lack the ability to connect with women on any level, even as just friends. And as his isolation began to grow,
Sorry.
so too did his obsession with finding a girlfriend.
I mean, that
George had
mustache
nearly
does
given
not
up his
help.
pursuits too, until he
Yeah,
was
I
introduced
think-
to Don
yeah.
Steele's course, viewing the program as his last real shot at human connection, obsessively reading the book to the point that he was supposedly able to recite passages by memory alone. On top of this, he would also attend many of this supposed guru's in-person seminars,
Oh, he locked
with some
in.
of his visits even being captured on camera and later posted onto Don Steele's YouTube channel.
It used to be down here. It was called a codpiece, and it's gradually over the years moved up here. So it's read like an erect you-know-what.
And it was in these courses where George was subjected to all sorts
The
of
hell
bizarre
kind of
and
course is
unsettling
that?
ideology.
Turn around here, look at me, and I'm going to
Should
tell
have went
you
to
what
a
we're gonna do
therapist.
today
Probably
more than
have
anything
get better advice.
else. We're going to do this. Nice guy must die.
But despite agreeing with this man wholeheartedly and following all of his work, George was still making very little progress, which was evident by the footage of him attending these seminars, as he appears incredibly nervous and kept mainly to himself. And so, recognizing that George had
Oh my
much to
God, he
improve on,
looks
he was
insane.
given an assignment by one of
Sorry,
his
I'm sorry.
instructors.
We don't know
He was
this
told to
man
film
or
a video
nothing,
of his house, so that the instructors and everyone else in the class could see if he was really making himself and his environment desirable enough to any woman who might come over.
Okay, couch and chair, they match. The woman will really be impressed.
Please, I know what he's.
Knowing this, the footage feels
What
so
the
much
heck?
lonelier, as it was almost like he was trying to sell his way of living as being good enough for a partner that he was really no closer to finding. There's something so depressing about it. And this wasn't his only video.
It is easy for me to hide from my emotions for one more day. Take a long drive in the car, listen to some music, daydream, or just do some mundane task around the house that really doesn't need to be done, that's not too important. And there you go, one more day, and one more day turns into one more year.
Months later, on June 23rd, 2008, George would return with an upload he had filmed inside of his basement. And in it, we get more insight on just how severe his isolation had become.
Don't do
He
it.
still held on to a sliver of optimism thanks to Don Steele's corpse.
He looks crazy.
Now,
I know.
RDS says that I have
You tell he's
approximately
stressing.
15 more years to be successful at this. And when I heard that, I wanted to continue immediately to start moving on this. I didn't realize I had that much time. So what my objective is to be real and to learn to be emotional and to be able to emotionally connect with people.
Before he eventually reverts back to talking about his uncanny desire to find a younger woman.
Because when I'm 10 to 20 years older than she is, she has to feel good about this thing.
Well,
Ending
that's
the
why you
video
can't
with
find
hints
a
of an
woman right
uncertain
there.
future.
Right.
You're not even looking in your own age group. How are you gonna relate to somebody 10 years
He
younger
would never
than you?
upload again. And soon after, it appears George gave up trying, essentially accepting his life of loneliness. But while this would be the last video made to his channel, he wouldn't leave the internet entirely. Soon after this final video was posted, a website was launched called GeorgeSodini.com, which served as a place for George to blog about his emotions. And while something like this could have been beneficial for him, this website would instead only
America's
serve to
chosen the
capture
black
his
man.
descent into madness. An immediate red flag was raised by the very first text you see on the website, as George wrote, "Why do
Wait,
this?
what did he say? I'm kind of curious on what that whole paragraph said. Election, blah, blah, blah. Good luck to Obama. He'll be successful. Okay. Why do you spell America like that?
A white girl hoe. Every black man should get a white girl hoe. What?
Wait, every black man should get a young white girl hoe to up on? Wait.
Men long ago, an older white male landowner had a young Negro wench girl for his desires.
What?
What the hell? Banging a brother real good.
Wait, what?
I don't know. It looks like he's obsessed with black men.
Black dudes have their choice of best white hoes. Why is he spelling hoes like that? You do the math. There are enough young whites. All the brothers can have each have one? Wait, what?
Just press play. He done lost his mind. That's what I concluded from this.
An immediate red flag was raised by the very first text you see on the website.
That's crazy.
As George wrote, "Why do this? To young girls? Just read below. I kept a running log that includes my thoughts and actions after I saw this project was going to drag on," with the line serving as some sort of bizarre disclaimer, though with no other context. George's entries began. December 22nd, 2008. Time is moving along. Plan to have this done already.
Oh my god, this is my sister
here
turned
as time passes.
9.
Many of the young girls here look so beautiful as to not be human. Very edible. After joining this gym, started lifting weights and like it. This early post encapsulates what this blog would be focused on. Young women he would see throughout the day, his time at the gym, and his plan. This plan was never expressly stated on the website, but it was something he obsessed over, mentioning it in every single one of his posts, and dubbing it the exit plan, even going as far as to provide a date and time for it, January 6th, 2009, at 8:15 p.m. Before this day would come, however, he would provide
no, this is
further
the same day,
insight
though.
into just
Oh, really?
how
Is that
lonely he
just the
was.
day everybody goes
Moving
crazy?
into Christmas again. Last Christmas with Pam was in 1983. Who knows why? I'm not ugly or too weird. No sex since January 1990 either. I was 29. No shit. Over 18 years ago.
Damn, that nigga
I actually look good.
Damn. The thing is, like, you know what? I'm gonna say this. He probably, his mom probably wasn't a good mom. Because, like, it's just the way that he looks at women that you know that like how he talking about they looking edible in the gym, not even he really don't even kind of see him as human, low key.
Yeah,
so you can tell
sees them as like
his mom
achievements.
His mom ain't do her job for real. Both of his parents didn't, because like
that's exactly why he couldn't pull no girl.
30 million women reject me over an 18 or 25
30
year
million.
period. That's how I see it.
Because
30 million
you're
is my
weird.
rough guesstimate of how many desirable single women there are.
Oh.
With several other posts of the same nature, the day eventually came for his big exit plan, January 6th, with George writing one message that afternoon. I can do this. This log is not detailed. It is only for confidence to do this. The future holds even less than what I have today. It is 6:40 p.m., about an hour and a half to go. God have mercy. I wish life could have been better for all, and the crazy world can somehow run smoother. I wish I had answers.
Damn, you about to off himself?
Despite this appearing to be
he's about to attack
George
women.
Sodini wasn't quite finished, as he would come back
That's what I'm
hours
getting
later,
from this.
writing simply, "It's 8:45 p.m. I chickened out. Shit. I brought the loaded guns, everything." Whatever George Sodini had been planning that day, it was clear that his exit plan was something incredibly disturbing. And based on his use of guns, plural, it was likely not just an exit plan for himself.
Mass shooting.
Yeah,
But
he should
thankfully,
just off
he didn't
himself.
go through with it. In fact, he seemed to have dropped the plan entirely, as
Damn.
months would go by without any update to his blog. Though this wouldn't last, as in April of 2009, he began posting yet again, with these entries being even more disturbing. July 23rd, 2009. Wow, I just looked out my front window and saw a beautiful college-age girl leave Bob's house, across the street. I guess he got a good lay today. College girls are hoes. I masturbate, frequently. He is about 45 years old. She was long-haired, hot little hottie with a beautiful bob.
This nigga's a loser.
Frequently.
Bro, that could have been
The
his
strangest part
niece.
of
You
this
don't
entire
even know.
website
Like, you
was,
freaking
according to those he worked
weirdo.
with and the neighbors, they all thought George was normal.
He's
He was
freaked
off, sure,
out.
but it appeared that these
He's a
disturbing thoughts
creep.
and plans were kept solely in his blog.
This
and
is
solely
crazy.
in his mind. But on July 28th, 2009, this would all change. George had boarded a Port Authority bus that day and took a seat, carrying with him some sort of duffel bag, and as the ride commenced, he unzipped the bag and began to fiddle with something inside of it. An anonymous man sitting next to him noticed this, and curiously leaned over to see what he was doing. In George Sodini's hand was what appeared to be
a fucking grenade?
The stunned passenger ran off at the next stop and immediately alerted the police.
Oh my
But
God.
bizarrely, nothing actually came of this. No explosions happened that day,
Oh,
and
okay,
upon
but-
police eventually tracking down Sodini 2 days later, he
Damn.
was searched, but there was no sign of this supposed grenade, and the man who had reported this incident was unable to positively identify him. And so, George was released, allowing him
ran
to
for his
continue on with
life.
his day,
So weird.
and to continue on with his posting. August 3rd, 2009. I took off today, Monday, and tomorrow to practice my routine and make sure it was well polished. I need to work out every detail. There is only one shot. Also, I need to be completely immersed into something before I can be successful. I
See,
haven't
the
had a
police
drink
didn't
since
even
Friday
search
at about
him, bro.
2:30.
They would have found
Total
all the
effort
guns and
needed.
everything.
Tomorrow is the big day. Last time I tried this in January, I chickened out. Let's see how this new approach works. Maybe soon I will see God and Jesus.
No, I think they searched him like the next day or some shit.
No, I know.
Oh yeah.
But they didn't really check his home. Well, I guess because they don't have a warrant, but
Yeah, and they didn't like the dude who seen it didn't really like
it's just like,
it. Yeah.
This was the
Fuck.
final update made to GeorgeSodini.com, and unlike his previous attempt at carrying out this exit plan, this time, he didn't back out. On August 4th, 2009, George Sodini would enter an LA Fitness in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania,
No.
and walk directly into a woman's aerobics class
Why
with a duffel bag in his
the
hand.
gym?
He then dropped his bag on the floor with a loud bang, before he closed the door and shut off all the lights. In a moment of darkness and confusion, one witness recalled that she felt the presence of someone who didn't belong there. Before total panic would ensue, everyone was just screaming so loud. At first, I didn't even think shots were being fired. It was so surreal.
That is crazy.
At that moment, George Sodini had brandished 2 guns from his bag and opened fire on the group of 30, all of whom were women, which was entirely the point. In that dark, cramped room, George would
Bruh.
discharge his weapon 52 times, striking 12 different women and then himself.
Damn.
Of the injured, 49-year-old Elizabeth Gannon, 38-year-old Jody Billingsley, and 46-year-old Heidi Overmeyer would tragically lose their lives, while the others were left with permanent injuries.
Oh, I'm
both
glad the
physical
others
and
survived,
mental.
but damn, that's so sad.
That's fucked up.
It wasn't hard to find a motive. George had spelled it out right there in his blog. He desired women so much that his inability to ever gain a real connection with any of them turned his infatuation into pure hatred. And this is how he wanted to make them pay. And the ironic part is that this was all so avoidable, as these plans were heavily implied on his website, which had been publicly available online for roughly an entire year, yet no one cared enough about him to ever look.
Damn.
It is easy for me to hide from my emotions for one more day.
Knowing what we know now, George's channel is highly disturbing, as it shows us a glimpse into a mind on the verge of completely snapping, and a last gasp attempt at achieving normalcy by a person who would go on to become a monster when he didn't get what he wanted.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Just everything I need. Well, that about sums it up.
Hi guys, I am with Lewis. Just having a little drink.
This is a whole different. Oh, okay, bet. All right, we gotta talk about this. Was fucked. And the crazy thing is, there's like, I know there's a lot of niggas just like him, like right now, because the day of like the internet is like how people be on the internet. You know that guys like him exist.
It's fucked up that 3 women had to lose their lives and many other injured.
Yeah, because it's
probably
fucking,
for the rest of their lives.
That's crazy, bro.
Just because one dude couldn't handle rejection.
My question is why he just didn't pay a prostitute or something, bro. Like all that, like I don't know, bro. Like all that bitching with 2008 and come on, prostitutes was around forever, but like.
Because I don't think it was ever about that. I think he just wanted a girl.
Just wanted them
like
to
he
like
just
a trophy.
wanted, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like an achievement to his own ego. Like, yeah, I pulled that girl. That's why he says young girls too. Like he wanted a young girl, like a pretty young girl, so that other people could see him like, oh, he got that girl on him.
Yeah,
you know, like it was never even about forming a connection. Or
it wasn't.
Maybe, well, I thought it was about just getting laid, but maybe it wasn't even about just getting laid. Maybe it was just about wanting to be seen with a girl to fulfill his own inner desires and the way that he looks to other people. Because he spent all his time with men.
No, he did.
In that weird class reading the books. Like, I don't know.
Crazy.
Mark Williams always dreamed of being a YouTuber. He had grown up watching parkour content
I did not want to
becoming
see
attached
this.
to both its many talented creators and the hobby itself.
Parkour?
Eventually becoming so inspired by it,
on
he
a
launched his own
disturbing...
channel in 2019 at the age of just 15, with Mark hoping that someday this channel would make that dream of his come true.
I was obsessed with parkour,
The page went
bro.
by many names over the years, but eventually Mark would settle on the moniker Displace. And depending on who you ask, his videos were either extremely impressive or extremely irresponsible. They showed scenes of Mark high atop buildings, jumping rooftop to rooftop, climbing on massive abandoned cranes, and fleeing from security guards and the cops on more than a few occasions.
Police are on the way already now.
Yeah, they'll catch me then, won't they?
Those videos are always been hella cool.
Was his younger brother, who he had grown incredibly close with, which was due in part to the fact that Mark was somewhat of a loner and didn't have many friends in his own personal life. Though according to his mother, this wasn't necessarily by choice, as she explained that he did desperately want friendship, and he was incredibly caring. He just had a habit of making the wrong friends, describing Mark as trusting to a fault. Mark's longing for camaraderie became especially apparent not long after the launch of Displace, as his brother slowly began appearing less and less in his videos, forcing him to do these free runs by himself, which he implied was something he didn't enjoy nearly as much.
My brother, who was part of the channel then, he's not now. I don't think he's coming back at all. He ditched me, leaving me by myself, and I've got a problem with talking to myself as well.
This, coupled with the fact that he was dealing with the tribulations of growing up, led to his uploads on the channel becoming more and more sporadic, as he would often go dark for a few months, only to return with the promise of more consistent uploads.
Alright guys, don't know if you can see me or not, but I promise you Displace is coming back.
That often never came. It was clear that he still longed to be a YouTuber, he just needed some sort of a spark. And sure enough, at the end of 2020,
like Corbin,
he would find one right in his own comment section. In a since-deleted video, Mark would receive a comment from a man named Lewis Ashdown, who explained that he was a big fan of Mark's content and that he would love to join him in an upcoming video, as they both just so happened to live in Uckfield. It was exactly what Mark had been needing.
What country is this?
And not only a friend, but a friend he could make videos with.
Didn't they say UK?
And so that's exactly what he would do.
That's what it looked like.
Guys, I'm back here with Lewis.
About kill with
And
Lewis, yeah.
we're going to do the water treatment facility in Uckfield on the industrial estate. See you in a sec, guys.
From their first meeting on, Lewis became a core part of the Displace channel, leading to the two growing closer by the day, with Mark speaking about this bond on a live stream in March of 2021.
If you're going exploring at an abandoned pub, yeah, keep your mate with you. Make sure he's someone you can trust.
2021, why these videos look so old?
Is all I can say. Because in the video where me and Lewis climbed the college, you know, I was constantly looking out for him because he did get dangerously close to some of the edges, but you know, that's what life's about, isn't it?
But despite finding his new parkour partner, Mark still had other issues getting in the way of his uploads, as he was now 18 years old and was facing the reality of having to get a job, forcing him to put his channel on the back burner. Mark discussed this struggle and the many others he was facing at the time in that same March livestream, with his tone about Displace's future sounding less than optimistic.
I've been doing some talking with Lewis, seeming like he wants to get back into climbing and stuff. I haven't actually done it since Christmas, and I've got a bad back. It's been getting worse and worse lately. Don't know why. I need to go to the hospital and have myself checked out. I am not sure where my channel is going to go. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these videos. I don't know if I'm going to be doing different videos, or whether I'm going to stop completely. But
unlike other times when he had gotten down on his channel, this time he wasn't alone, and his friend Lewis was there to have his back as he pushed Mark to continue his work, even showing up in the comments of this livestream under the name Moral Unknown, where he went as far as to offer up a potential location that they could film their next video in order to get Mark re-inspired. We'll do Buxted Hotel first video back? And sure enough, just days later, the two would arrive at Buxted Hotel to begin filming yet another video.
Hi guys, I am with Lewis. Just having a little drink.
This would be their last on the Displace channel, as not even 2 months after it was uploaded, both Mark Williams and Lewis Ashdown would vanish without a trace.
What the fuck? Oh no.
It was the waning hours of Saturday, May 29th, 2021.
What?
Mark met Lewis at the Maresfield Recreation Ground to have a few drinks and discuss their next potential video. Though once there, it was the drinks that took priority, and very quickly Mark had become intoxicated, leading to him calling his house to tell his aunt, who he had been living with, that he would be heading back now. On the call, his aunt could tell that he was drunk, but Lewis chimed in to assure her not to worry, telling her, "I'll get him home safe," which made his aunt feel slightly better.
That's crazy.
After all, it was only a short few-minute walk back to the house anyway.
Few minutes.
Instead, 12 hours would pass, and Mark still hadn't made it back, while Lewis himself also failed to arrive home. At some point during their short walk back, both boys had disappeared. They were reported as missing the very next morning, and the area they were last in was combed thoroughly, though very little was uncovered. Around them had been large pockets of forest and murky bodies of water,
yeah, that shit
leading to
looks
some questioning if perhaps
crazy.
the boys had gotten lost, or even had fallen into the water. Though regardless of the theories, as a full 24 hours passed, many began to fear the worst, until something strange happened. Reports began pouring in from witnesses claiming to have seen Lewis. Some thought they saw him leaving a local pub the morning after he supposedly had gone missing, while others had seen him at a local movie theater, seemingly completely unaware that the whole town was looking for him. These sightings introduced the possibility that the boys were perhaps runaways, causing several pleas to be made throughout the press, begging them to come back home. But it would be the police who would find Lewis first, tracking him down at his friend named Liam Hansen's house.
What?
There, the cops fired off a barrage of questions, as they not only tried to get answers as to where the boys had been, but more importantly now, they needed to know where Mark was. Throughout all the sightings, it was only ever Lewis that had been spotted, and even now, after searching this friend's home, Mark wasn't there either. So where had Mark Williams gone? Well, Lewis himself offered very little, outright refusing to speak on the boys' whereabouts. But his friend Liam wasn't so quiet, as when he was questioned separately, he claimed to know exactly what had happened on the night of May 29th, 2021, the day in which both boys had disappeared. And he knew because Lewis had told him. According to the boy, the night that Lewis and Mark had met at the park, Lewis poured a cocktail for his friend, and then another, each one stronger than the last, causing Mark to become drunk almost immediately. Realizing he was drinking too much, Mark told Lewis that he had enough, but Lewis persisted, outright demanding that he keep drinking, leading to Mark begging Lewis to let him stop. At one point, Mark's pleas finally caused Lewis to back off, as the boy instead agreed to make him a non-alcoholic drink, only for him to fill the cup with even more liquor when Mark wasn't looking.
Bro.
By 11:30, Mark could barely stand. prompting him to make that phone call to his aunt, letting her know that he would be back soon. Meanwhile, Lewis had been so preoccupied with getting his friend drunk that he was still fairly sober at this point, and in his sober state, he promised Mark's aunt that he would get him home safe. Seconds after that phone call ended, Mark hunched over to vomit, which is precisely when Lewis pulled a large kitchen knife from his pocket and plunged it directly into Mark's back. Mark stumbled and asked Lewis to call him an ambulance, being unable to comprehend what had just happened, to which Lewis responded by laughing before doing it again.
That is so
and again.
Fucked.
This is what Lewis had told Liam in the days after the alleged attack, but as Liam recounted the story to the police, he made it clear that this wasn't just a tall tale, as he had actually seen it for himself.
What?
When Lewis had told him the story, he pulled out his phone and put it up to Liam's face, revealing that he had filmed the entire ordeal. And sure enough, when police searched Lewis's devices, they would find that footage. Though it was far worse than they ever could have imagined.
Oh my god.
On Lewis Ashdown's cell phone were 7 total videos depicting the attack, with the footage spanning nearly an hour in total, during which Mark had been stabbed 107 times.
Okay. This nigga is a demon. When I'm about to look, bro, the fact that the reason why they even kicking it in the first place is because he was a supporter, bruh. That's what makes it so crazy, bruh. That's why you can't even that's wild, bruh. Like, imagine somebody like, I fuck with your content, bro. Like, you a cool dude.
Maybe
y'all link up. This nigga stabbed you 100 times, 107 times, bro.
Even jealousy, you're not gonna go that far. That gotta be that's just insanity. Like,
yeah, that's not.
There's no other reason.
Yeah, wait, yeah, that is not.
Like, he just planned all of it. He planned supporting him.
That shit ain't got.
He just wanted somebody innocent.
You got a supporter, somebody that's like, you think that's supporting you, and they do you like this, which is crazy as fuck.
And all the while, it was said that Lewis was giggling manically. When
Wait,
asked about what he had seen in those quiet times,
crazy.
On top of having a number of other sadistic things done to him. And all the while, it was said that Lewis was giggling manically.
Oh.
When asked about what he had seen in those recordings, Liam provided further detail on just how awful the attack was, recounting that he ripped Mark's eyes out. Proper psychotic stuff. I was going into shock. I was shocked how he came out with it. I wanted to run and tell someone. This was clearly not a normal crime. It displayed a level of evil and hatred that goes past human comprehension, and due to its brutality, police assumed that surely something must have happened between these two to breed so much hatred inside of Lewis.
No, I don't
But
even
according to
think there was
Lewis,
nothing.
this wasn't actually the case. Instead, he stated that he had simply found Mark to be annoying, and that he had been wanting to kill him for some time because of this, and had just been waiting for the right moment.
Dang, oh god, that's crazy, bro. Annoying?
I don't think it's...
No, it's like the thing, what I'm about to, look. Not being annoying, not jealousy. This motherfucker is crazy. You don't just kill somebody because they're annoying. There's like, this nigga's he's a demon, bro. It's really like...
Yeah, how is he annoying? But yeah, you was hanging around him, watching his channel, this, that.
Yeah, bro,
him,
like...
hanging out with him, talking with him, drinking with him.
Like he said, bro, you can't even like comprehend that shit. That is crazy, bro. That's
Bring back
Plus, he always wanted to know what it was
torture.
like to kill someone. And that was it. That was his entire motive. Lewis Ashdown would be arrested the day he was found and later sentenced to life in prison with parole eligibility in 25 years, while Mark's body was found dumped in a nearby body of water and eventually given a proper burial.
That's fucked up.
Hi guys, I'm back here with Lewis. And,
Damn, I feel
we're
so
gonna
bad,
do the,
bro.
Water treatment facility.
With this context, Mark's channel is utterly devastating. All he wanted was a friend to film videos with. But sure enough, as his mother had warned, he was trusting to a fault.
If you're going exploring at an abandoned pub, yeah, keep your mate with you. Make sure he's someone you can trust, you know, and be careful.
Which brings us to a disturbing revelation. Just months before he would kill Mark, Lewis was the one that encouraged him to get back out there and film with him, and based on his testimony that he had been wanting to kill Mark for a long time, it makes it very clear that he was doing this not to be a good friend, but to get Mark alone in an isolated spot, so that he could carry out his plan. And adding more weight to this theory, when they visited the Buxted Hotel, which Lewis himself had suggested during the livestream, Mark was uncharacteristically drunk.
Hi guys, I am with Lewis. having a little drink. Okay, so we'll smash this after we smash these.
Which was never really part of his channel before that upload. And Lewis was uncharacteristically nervous.
We're going to do a couple more bangers. Can't tell you what they are in case anyone's watching that shouldn't be watching. Who's watching? Well, no, I mean watching the videos.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I know that the police do watch my channel sometimes.
Paranoid even of being caught by the cops, despite being totally unfazed in previous videos, where in some he was literally being chased by security guards. And coincidentally, by the end of this video, we get an indication as to why Lewis was so nervous. Because he had been carrying a knife. All this leads me to believe that that night, Lewis pushed Mark to film a video in an abandoned location, then got him drunk, and was going to carry through with the murder, before eventually backing out for unknown reasons. And all the while, Mark was completely unaware, never once suspecting that the man he had been filming with had secretly been plotting to kill him, and one day would actually go through with it.
Okay, I'll wrap it up now then, guys.
The devil.
Yep, I'll see ya.
You gotta be possessed by something evil to do something like that. By a demon.
I ain't gonna lie.
But parole in 25 years is crazy. You should have no parole.
I ain't gonna lie, he didn't have a chance. You know what I'm saying that?
Why?
Cause like the dude, like the Lewis nigga, he seemed like cool. So there was like no signs of him even being like damn, they was into the same shit, and he just like, it was like he's like, I don't know. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know at all. If like that shit was just wild, bro. He didn't have a chance, bro. The only how this could have been prevented is if he never kicked it with him in the first place. That one was bad. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, I feel so bad for him because he was just a little boy.
I can't even just like
wanted to follow his dreams. I feel so bad for his brother.
I forgot about his brother. Damn, bro. This is just hard for me to comprehend, just off the fact that like he, like the reason why he did it and like how brutal that shit was.
It's just the fact that like there was no signs because he was playing a part the entire time. Like he was like playing supporter the entire time.
That's what I'm saying. That's how he didn't have a chance, bro. He really didn't have a chance out that situation. I'm trying to think of like how he could have prevented that. But the only way he could have prevented that from even happening is
divine intervention.
This is a lesson though. Don't just like, this ain't even really a lesson, to be honest. I ain't gonna lie, because like the nigga seemed cool as fuck though. Like to him, I'm assuming that Mark was like, oh, this nigga cool. Like he a cool guy. And then like this ain't even a lesson, bro.
He said he was confused himself because when he stabbed him, he's like, call an ambulance. Like he was.
Well, that's sad, bro. That's so sad, bro. That's so sad, bro. Fuck, I wonder, bro. Like, oh my god, he need to get beat. I hope he get beat the fuck up in prison. But I heard them UK prisons is hella soft.
Enjoy.
Joshua Brown.
Joshua Brown started his YouTube channel back in 2010, a time when many individuals, including himself, used the site to upload random videos offering momentary glimpses into their lives. Joshua was in his mid-30s at the time and had recently finished serving in the Navy, before eventually settling down in Canton, Ohio, where he focused on his many passions. He loved driving, he loved technology, and he loved a little bit of danger.
Where does this Nick dude be finding these stories?
And soon, he became infatuated with a product that was essentially the sum of all three. For Joshua, these electric vehicles were a technological marvel and the future of the automotive industry, and he dreamed of one day having one. With that dream eventually coming true,
Tesla was around in 2010.
He would purchase his very own Tesla Model S that would eventually become his life and his YouTube channel's primary focus. He began uploading videos of his new car immediately, but rather than these focusing on the vehicle itself, it was its most controversial feature that interested him the most: autopilot. The feature had become available for Tesla drivers in October of 2015, which is exactly when Joshua purchased his car and began uploading these videos showcasing its possibilities.
It takes all.
This video's already off to a bad start. I hate Teslas.
Hey, at least now you don't have to worry about anything. It's just let it go.
He wanted to essentially be a pioneer, providing an overview of what self-driving was really all about, breaking down the specifics and showcasing a variety of unique situations that you might find yourself in if you were to use this driving mode yourself.
This section in here is going to be very, very difficult for the car to handle. We're filming this just so that you can see scenarios where the car does not do well, so that you've got something to judge off of it when you're driving on your own.
And he tried to make a point of doing so safely, as he never used the camera behind the wheel, and always had someone helping him to avoid any accidents. But despite his focus on safety, it was clear that he was pushing the capabilities of this brand new technology, as at this point it was still in its infancy, with one of the more glaring red flags being the placement of his hands.
Here we are, stop and go traffic on 271, and geez, car's doing it all itself.
When Joshua was shown driving, he hardly ever had his hands on the wheel, as he said he wanted to get the true experience of self-driving. This was something that Tesla had actually adamantly advised against, and even had visual and audible warnings if it detected that your hands were off the steering wheel. But Joshua seemed to find a workaround, as he instead used his legs to avoid tripping the sensor, while keeping his hands close by, ready to grab the wheel in case of an emergency.
How I actually do it is so that it is really actually hands-free, is I keep my knees up, because the tack works pretty good, but I can still get my foot down to a brake, and just keep it like this, because you can react so quickly.
Bro, why?
It was clear that Joshua truly believed that this car that was driving him was safe, and this belief was only strengthened on April 5th of 2016. That day, Joshua had been driving his car on the interstate when a large truck suddenly merged into his lane, with its driver not even seeing his car. And before Joshua could even react, the autopilot kicked in and veered out of the way, avoiding what would have been a certain collision. Amazed by the event, Joshua would upload dashcam footage of the close call to his YouTube channel, where he praised the vehicle's response. "Tessie did great. Excellent job, Elon." This video would immediately go viral, exploding to over 4 million views between the two versions that Joshua had posted. But while the response to this video was overwhelming, especially for a channel that was accustomed to getting just a few hundred views, there was one response in particular that impacted Joshua the most. As Tesla's owner, Elon Musk, would repost the video on Twitter. Stunned by the tweet, Joshua would later state, "For something to catch Elon Musk's eye, I can die and go to heaven now."
What?
He had no way of knowing then, but this would not be the last time that Elon Musk would tweet about him, though his next feature would be under much different circumstances.
What?
It happened just 1 month after Joshua Brown's video had gone viral. He was driving on Highway 27 on a clear sunny day at approximately 4 p.m. With open road ahead, Joshua turned on his trusted autopilot, and it stayed in autopilot mode for over half an hour, as at this point, his trust in the car was higher than ever, causing Joshua to seemingly lose focus on the road, as he was quickly coming up on an intersection where a massive 18-wheeler had been turning left, blocking Joshua's entire lane. Joshua was seemingly so unfocused that he didn't even notice it. Even stranger, the car itself didn't detect this either, despite the entire trailer being horizontal in their lane. This was due to its pure white body, as the sun was shining so brightly against it that, for whatever reason, it became invisible to the self-driving AI.
Damn!
And with neither Joshua nor the car registering the danger that they were in, the vehicle would strike the trailer, going 74 miles per hour. There were no attempts by Joshua to even move the steering wheel, and the brakes hadn't so much as been tapped.
Oh
the
my
collision happened
God.
at full speed, and it happened so fast that the car drove straight through underneath, shearing the entire top of the vehicle off, and continuing driving full speed down the road, before it would eventually crash to a halt. When the driver of the truck rushed over to see the damage, Joshua Brown was already dead, and the truck driver could hear nothing but the sound of Harry Potter.
You can own it on DVD and video. The adventure.
He was watching Harry Potter.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Harry Potter.
Discovered in Joshua Brown's car was a DVD player, which many believe Joshua had used to watch Harry Potter while on that drive, thus explaining why he never reacted to the impending collision. Now, this is something that has been disputed by his family, and ultimately it doesn't seem to have been fully proven or disproven. But in the end, the fault of the accident was placed mainly on the driver of the truck, who had made that left turn, and Joshua Brown, who had failed to pay attention to the road, as it was revealed that during his 37-minute drive, he only had his hands on the wheel for just 25 total seconds.
What?
Joshua Brown always wanted to be part of the innovation of Tesla's autopilot, and in doing so, he wrote himself into the history books as being the first person to ever perish in a self-driving accident. And while this is no doubt a tragedy, his death has led to numerous safety improvements and a better understanding of the self-driving technology that he had given his life to study.
Well, I mean, he kind of accomplished his dream there.
I mean, yeah, but
I just wanted to
he
hop
said
on
it
here at the end and give a quick shout out to my friend's new podcast.
I want to say something.
Okay.
That was sad. It was kind of due to his own negligence a little bit.
A lot of it.
But it's also the truck at fault too.
Oh yeah.
But he did, like, if he was driving himself with his hands on the wheel, he probably would have seen the truck turning out. I guarantee you he would have. So there's that. But also, I don't know, is the self-driving feature, like, what do you guys think about it? Like, is it too tempting or what? Like, you just kind of got to be responsible, I feel like, because stuff like that can happen. And I get what he means by the trailer truck blended in with the skyline, because there's been times when I was driving, like, on just a one-way road, and, like, I didn't see, like, a trailer in front of me because it was blending in with the sunlight. Mm-hmm. I get what he means by that. No, but I was behind the truck, so I'm just like, I'm going slow, you know.
No, they were talking about
but I can see that.
They were talking about the Tesla. Like, the Tesla didn't even pick that shit up because the sun.
I know, and I'm saying I've seen that. Like, I couldn't even see it because of the sun.
Oh, you saying, okay.
Yeah, like, if it's white, it does blend in with the background. Like, I know what that means, but...
Yeah, that self-driving shit, I'm cool off. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I like driving. I got a 91 Bird.
I'm just
like
too
driving.
Anxious to ever have something.
I like driving myself. I'm fine.
Yeah, me too.
That shit is.
But RIP to this man.
I ain't gonna lie, that's like, that was very, very preventable. It was the truck, but like, the nigga was watching Harry Potter, bro.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, come on, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he sacrifices, not even a sacrifice, but I guess, you know.
Damn near did sacrifice.
Yeah, it basically was sacrifice.
For the better, though.
Yeah,
And you know what? It seemed like it happened so quick, he probably didn't even know what just happened. So, I'm hoping he had a peaceful passing, because...
Yeah, because that shit
like
was
it happened
bad.
So quick. Like, he didn't... It said his hands didn't even go on the wheel. He didn't press the brake or nothing.
Nothing, bro.
So...
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's...
Shit. But yeah, this was a crazy ass video. That Mark one is still wild as hell to me. Damn, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was the worst.
That shit was the worst. Fuck, I'm just lost for words about that one. But look, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new. We catch you on the next video.